something that perhaps you have not incorporated, okay? So good Tai Chi posture, coming this way first, okay? Reviewing and renewing and reintroducing. Open your minds, good Tai Chi posture. And another thing, if you have good Tai Chi posture, that butt should always be tucked under. If it's tucked under, the curvature of the back stays that way, okay? But once you stiffen it up, that butt you found is now straight, but the butt is tucked under to allow that chest to hollow out, okay? Commencing form, you're at 50-50. You're gonna shift to the right, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, off the ground, open, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Rotate to the middle of the thighs, take a deep breath in, diaphragmatic breathing. At shoulder level, you're gonna push down the water and make yourself small. How? Drop the shoulders, flex the knees, go all the way down, be about to your waist or a little further. Right hand starts to come to the top, left hand 2 inches as you form your T. So the elbows are not seen, they're pushed towards the center, because holding a ball helps you to a centering. Weight on the back because you want to create substantial there. Out and to the side. Turn the hips and waist, energy through the spine, through the core, through the chest, through the shoulder, out through the tips. At this point, your forward left hand should be about eye level. It should not be warding off your opponent. It should be naturally coming out so that your wrist now, the wrist blade, is pretty soft and straight rather than curved. Or it could be curved but not bent inwards like if you were warding off, okay? Like a flower unfurling. You're in a bow stance, need not be on the toe. Back right foot is not locked in, but not dipped, okay? Relaxed, but not dipped. Sit back, sit down on that imaginary stool. Twist out as if you're walking in the left zigzag. You're gonna require centering, so we're gonna put a ball to it as we shift our weight. Out on an L, move the energy first, then bottom hand advances. Unfurl that flower in the front, part the wild horse's mane 2. Sit back, sit down, store that energy. Pivot to the right as if you're walking into the right. Form your ball, form an L, turn the hips and waist. Third parting of the wild horse's mane. Eye level and the forward hand. Half step forward. Hold your ball for centering. Weight on the more towards the front, okay? When we spin the ball to the left, we sit back on our back foot. Here we go. Spin the ball to the left, sit back on our back foot. Right hand comes up, left foot on its toe, lift the foot off the ground, point it out, set it up correctly. White crane spreads its wings. If you set it up correctly, your knee of the back foot should be flexed because it's storing all your weight. Okay? Coming forward now, okay? Starting with the clock wall. Facing the clock wall, good Tai Chi posture. We're going to come forward so you can see. Good Tai Chi posture, tucking that butt. Commencing form, 60, 70, 80, 100 off the ground, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Rotate, deep breath through your diaphragm, up to your shoulder, push down, use your core, think through. Right hand on the top, left hand 2 inches below, forming your T. T stance, don't be in a rush. I am going slower. Out on an L, turn the hips and waist, move that energy through your core, part the wild horse's mane. So the front hand is extended, but the elbow joint is not locked. Sit back, sit down, pivot out into the left zigzag, hold your ball, out of the heel, turn the hips and waist, generate that power, use your core to part the wild horse's mane 2. Eye level, sit back, sit down, pivot to the right, As if you're walking there. Heel, turn the hips and waist, power that energy. 3 and final. Half step, hold your ball, spin the ball to the left, weight on the back, front foot goes on its toe, watch the advancing right hand, lift it off, white crane spreads its wings. So when we finally set up white crane, we have to lift it off and put it to a toe. And at this point, we're set. Left hand sits to the side as if it were holding up a ball. Right hand is above your head as if the baby finger slices through the edge of your left shoulder blade, setting it up correctly. You're going to tuck the elbow in. How do you tuck the elbow? Do you see it out like this? We're going to tuck it in. We're going to tuck it in, and we're going to move everything to the center of ourselves. Here's white crane. We're going to tuck the elbow and move it toward the center. We're at 12 o'clock, stem, right? What are we going to do? We're going to drop that stem, but when we drop that stem, we drop our heel. We swirl back and we look back. And we're going to lift the front foot off, and we're going to brush knee 1. Sit back, sit down, pivot out as if you're walking in the left, set it up correctly, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush knee 2. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, set it up correctly, all together. Move that energy through your core, through your system. 3. Half step forward, sit back, rock the front, reposition your hands, use your core, put it on its heel. How is the peepaw played? Left hand is higher, right hand dips towards the left elbow. The elbow does not flare out this way, it's in, but the forearm is dipped towards the elbow. I'm going to turn around, you keep your formation. So this is how the peepaw is played. Left foot is with the left hand in line. Right foot is short, right hand is short. It is not parallel, but dipped towards the elbow in a soft way. Weight on the back, okay? So you're going to tuck that butt, and you're going to be ready because you're sitting on an imaginary stool, okay? I'm going to get to this position. Tucking my butt. If I'm up this way, I don't have my butt tucked. Therefore, my Tai Chi posture is not correct. If I set this up correctly, I can center the left hand. I can make that right hand rise up higher, and I can open the palm of the center to the ceiling as I glance at the back hand. All together, ear, toe, heel, unzigzag the front by pivoting on the the ball of the foot. You're in the middle. Now you're going to repulse. Push forward, pull back. And that right hand or forward hand should be eye level. Advance the left hand as it goes higher, glance. All together, leading with the toe, ear, swivel on that axle, meet in the center. Ball of the foot gets undone, repulse 2. Center, higher, glance, lead with the toe, lift off, toe, heel, ball of the foot gets pivoted, slide back, slide forward. This time is our last one. So the foot now takes a new formation to ward off, okay? I'll talk about it later. Lift, ear, toe, bring that heel in, center, pull, and then stop at, hold your ball on a T-step. Okay, it's easier to show you now, okay? So So this is what we did, okay? So you detect something that you can help yourself. So I got myself into a little pinch, I would say a little pinch, because I wanted to go slowly, but I didn't realize how slow it was. So I had to keep that tempo, but it was more difficult. To me, it wasn't unnatural, what I would do normally, but I thought for teaching it would, it's important to slow it down so that you can take in all the little itty bitty things. Okay, so the hips are in motion. So depending on when you're asking me, then I can tell you the what. So in repulsing of the monkey, you're swiveling on your axle. How are you swiveling on your axle? I would show you my back, but I think you can still see it through the front. So my axle is keeping me straight, but what happens? I'm swiveling, I'm swiveling, I'm swiveling. I'm doing this. So Mel's asking, well, so the hip now is like this. It's not so much this way because I'm open here, and then it takes a new form because I'm coming towards the center. I'm pulling, I'm centering now. The hip is towards the center, it's down center. But then it starts to move again because why? I need to swivel on the axle. Swivel on the axle right now, so the hip is now in motion. So it's swiveling or spinning. Just do it naturally, okay? And then when you come to that point where you are in question, then you ask yourself, am I in the optimal? So here I will do it for you, okay? So you're like this. The first one can lead with the heel. You do 4 repulse. The first one you do with the heel because you're on your heel. You center, you look, and you don't worry about it too much because if you're swiveling and you're using your core, I'm straight away. But once I start to open, there's a little turning of the hip. But I'm centered and I pull back. I think I could pull back in a more efficient way if I did this centered rather than did this. because this is awkward. I feel my knee pulling me, so I would pull back. Center, all the way back. Okay, you folks want to try it? Try it. Play your lute. Center, open, lift, center, look, lift, swivel, 2, center, lift, swivel, 3, center, lift, modify that foot, and 4. Then turn and hold your ball. So an easy answer, like I said, when you're in the last element, when you're pulling the monkey down and pushing it away, your hips are square to the outward foot, the forward foot. Okay, anything else now? Because that was a good question. So you get the part where if we come to class and we're concentrating, we are creating a sense of calmness. And then you get the part where you're using your core and centering. So right away when we commence, we're centered, but using your core now, a lot of people say, well, I'm not sure if I'm using my core. So this is not using my core. Okay, but this is using my core. And an easy way is, yes, when I used my core, I could feel me dropping. My center of the gravity was dropping. But if this is just a motion, the core is not being used. So that's why we need to establish core-related movements. Let's try that, okay? Make sure you're using your core. But here again, it's good that you have the power to come down and use your core. But what about bringing it up? That's powerful too. So the more you can bring up through your core, and it's really tight and compacted, hey, the more you can relax to let that energy go. So it always starts way before the movement that you're trying to get to, that you're storing your energy. Okay, let's do that. Okay, good Tai Chi posture. From the start, dropping the shoulders, tucking the butt, commencing form, shift weight, open, 50-50, rotate. Drop that water, use your core. Push down. Come up. Push down. That's core related. Bring up. Push down. Let's do it 10 times. You count by yourselves. But each time it should be more powerful. I'm on my 10th. You should be nearing your 10th. Holding your ball. Shift weight to the right. Hold your ball. Sink down. Why do you sink down? You need the energy to part the wild horse's mane. Here we go. T stance, L stance. Move the energy through your core. Turn the hips and waist. Tingling of your arms, go out to the fingertips because that's your energy. Both stance. Sit back, sit down, accumulate that energy, twist out, shift the weight, hold the ball for center. L stance, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, Bring it out through the system, through the fingertips. Sit back, sit down, pivot out. Shift the weight, center the ball, turn the hips and waist through the system, out through the tips. Half step. Spin, drop back, rock front. Watch the advancing, up with the front, set it up correctly. Tuck and bisect, drop also. Swirl back, look back, lift and move that energy forward. Sit back, twist out. Better balance, all together. Sweep to the right. Sit back, twist out. Walk in that direction. Move the energy through the core. Final. Half step. Sit back, rock the front, set it up correctly. Center, open that chest, look back, all together, swivel, forward, repulse, 1. Center, open that chest, together, swivel, and retract. And open, lead with the toe, all together, spin on that axle, address the front foot. Center, higher, swivel, adjust that foot, down. Hold your ball, round out that ball with the right hand on a T stance. Okay, so when we did the last repulsing of the monkey, this foot was, then I said, remember, round out that ball, because what? It's giving you time to then come together on a T. But if you did not give your chance time and you quickly wrapped around, everything's out of sync because you're wrapped around and then you have to form your T. I should face you. So, giving myself a time to turn and then to do this. But if I'm like this and I start to turn, well, my foot is supposed to be like this. If I start to turn here, I gotta wait and then do this, which is not as nice if you were to repulse the monkey, give yourself time and balance and centering, and then come together and sync. Because why? You need all this energy then to ward off, right? So on and on it goes. Also, when you get into the pattern or the habit of shifting your weight and storing that energy, you're going to miss it when you shortchange yourself. You're going to say, hey, something's wrong. I don't have that energy to ward off correctly. I'm falling short because you either did not accumulate or are aware of saving up that energy to advance. Okay? So I want to get you to that point, and when you practice now, we're not, like we said, we're not looking so much for sequencing, but we're looking for the finer stuff. So this finer stuff can take us on yet another path in our journey. Okay? So did you see the difference in right away that if you were to bring up using your core, you get used to it so that when you push down, that core is engaged? Yes or no? Yes? Or has it always been with you? This class isn't, it's hard for me to understand you. But when you push down now, don't shortchange yourself and only come down a little bit and then start to form your ball. Because why? You want to establish groundedness. And then the ball comes this way. Watch. The ball forms like this. And then you come out. Move the energy. Then remember I said unfurl rather than warding off. Okay, so let's check warding off and let's checking parting of the wild horse's mane. Show me parting of the wild horse's mane. Left foot forward, left hand unfurling, okay? Part the wild horse's mane, okay? Okay, do what I do. Out, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, out, part the wild horse's mane. I'm looking at that final motion. Where is your hand? Okay, show me one more. Sit back, twist out, hold your ball, step out, part the wild. Is it eye level? Is your hand sort of soft and rounded? Your fingers rather, right? Is that left hand not bunched together but holding an egg, but not so wide where the egg is going to drop, but soft in the underpits, your armpits rather? And is your back knee, you're in a bow stance, is your back knee not dipped but not straight as a board? And then look at your foot. Can you drag that forward foot back, and will there be a gap? Okay, and is that gap big enough? Okay, good. So let me just show you, okay? So when you part the wild horse's mane, you're from a ball, and you come out, and this is the curvature that you take. As if you were giving someone a snack, as opposed to warding off. But oftentimes we see people parting the wild horse's mane as if they're warding off. So all I'm looking for is when you come from your ball, you open the chest, sweep out, as if you were to unfurl the flower. The final portion of your wrist should be not straight and taut, but should be soft and out, rather than bending towards you. It should be more out, as if you were giving someone a snack, okay? And here again, the mitten that you wear is soft, so the forefingers are away from your thumb when you part the wild horse's mane, or in anything. The mitten that you wear separates that thumb, so when you come out, it comes out, rather than a glove. You're wearing a mitten, so the forefingers are a little bit more together than apart, okay? So little itty-bitty things. Warding off now. When we ward off, the power comes from the forearm. So if it's the forearm, if it's the power of the forearm, you cannot use this portion. It's coming from this portion. So you're not unfurling a flower, you're not giving anyone a snack, so very different. Okay, so show me how you would ward off now. Okay? Ball, out, ward off, use your core. One more time. Step out, turn, bottom hand pushes out, but something is emanating from the back, not your upper arm. One more time. T-stance, step out, ward off, using the core, coming about little below eye level. You're going to pause now, okay? Just 2 seconds, 1 second, but you're going to show that you know what a pause is. Then you're going to turn your hips and waist, pause, turn hips and waist, pause, turn hips and waist. Push out, pause, turn hips and waist. Are you doing that? Push out, pause, turn hips and waist, reposition your hand. Then what? Sit, back, sit, down. The hands are being generated by the core. Contact, turn, push, separate. Roll back on your heel, sit down, up and out. Other side so I can see. Sit back, sit down, pivot, make that ball nice and time it with your T. Step out, Forearm using your core. Turn hips and waist. Then reposition. Bring down the bird's tail. Contact. Turn again. Push. Separate. Roll back. Sit down. Spiral up and out. Twist. 12 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock, what happens? Hook. Across the face, out. Single whip. Okay?